Hey, hello. How are you? So, I've got a problem. So, I've got a custom type and I want to implement a plus operator on it. As you see, I have to kind of let into it and whatever. But technically, since I know that I've got operand, regardless of the subtype I have in there, I want to just essentially have the possibility to make an let a result whatever r plus l right in here without all this crap and just produce some other variation of an operand. So I quickly investigated how Rust is allowing us to implement a add trait to do exactly that. So they have a point of some sort, they implement add to it. So technically, right now I want to kind of go through with you how this thing should work. So from the last session I had this weird thing. It would not compile right now. I want to implement this thing with my custom typing here. So I've got S with some start whatever. Apparently I'll need to use this. I don't want to immediately write that in my code because I'm not sure if I understand this and I want to understand it first. So impl add. So I guess I need to do this and I need to implement it for the scope thing. And then, alright, let's just go with this. Function add, return self. Oh wait, I guess it needs to know. I guess it needs to know this. I'm just gonna assume it works like this. And apparently inside this, I can return something. So this is scope, so they have a self. Yeah, let me do just that. And the scope is start. I have a start variable. Self dot start plus other dot start. So this is the thing, right? Sorry. So in here, technically, I should be able to write this. Yeah, this is exactly what that I started to highlight. This is the thing that when we use the self, then this method is going to consume the value passed into it, so I cannot reuse the same value twice. I cannot add myself to myself. So it means that I cannot pass references, or I would need to copy them. So I guess, so the long story short, I cannot use S again. I could use S1 and it would be 1. So the value inside there would be 1 and it should technically give me 3. So this is the way it works. All right. So in my code, let me close that. It's modified. Yeah, kills the buffer. I have an enum. I actually need to work with enums. So darn it. All right. So let me clean that up quickly. Yeah, Rust is fun. I find it more and more fun as I go. And just for the sake of testing, let's call it a number 2. Yeah, it's funny also. Also going to be f32. I'm going to derive debug from it. I don't need that, I guess. Add for the scope. So it's now the operand. All right. So as values, I would need to have operand of a number, just to see if I could like work with different sub parameters, and this would be operand number 2, 1.3. So in the end, I do want to get 3.4. All right, so this is not needed. All right, so now this should work once so this will be consumed after the plus works, so this will be owned by the add. And I cannot pass reference to it. I would need to subclone it or whatever. So this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. So in this test in particular, I had the code that that unwraps so it gets the value of a type. So if let operand number, no, this was supposed to be number 2. Yes. If let number and 1, I want to deconstruct it. Self. Let me print first. N is N1. And this would need to return some sort of operand number. Let's call it a 5 just for the start of the thing. So I've added, I'm trying to add number type, subtype of enum to number 2, or number 2 to number 1. So this should result in an error because, okay. It's an integer and I need to make it a float. Alright, so I need to handle this stuff because I need to unwrap it somehow. So I'm practicing to unwrap the two things, and I need to be able to check if I can add two things, because again in my code I've got various scheisse string or whatever. I'm not sure if I would need to hold these still, but adding string to a float would technically result in a none. I'm not sure I would need to support that, but this is exactly the case. So since I can do that, maybe I can work with match. If I match self, technically, if this is operand something, then technically I would be able to print it the very same way. I'm feeling dumb, so bear with me. But this is a good place to actually check. Oh, it's not covered. Oh, all right, I've got multiple subtypes of enum. So operand number 2 and 2. So this kind of means that, whoops, I made a mistake. I was supposed to write this, and n2 is n2. So this should compile at least. How do I do this together? How do I compare number 1 and number 2? But I cannot write extractor from. I cannot write an extractor function to get the value n and then value n2 and then am I able to write a tuple and other? Shit, pattern matching. So am I even allowed to? I guess I can just do that. I can extract the thing or vice versa. This is n number, this is number 2, so I need to work both ways, right? Hold on, wait. This does come, no wait. What is the problem? All possibilities are checked. Aren't these all possibilities? I've got only 2. Alright, apparently this and this, so the stuff that I would need would result into some other stuff, right? And none used. Bam. Let res, I'm gonna call it result, equal match. So I can, in this case, I know that I need to add two numbers together, same as here. And here would just be 0. And the result would be here as a number. Chat. Oh, the floating point again. Yes, this is a very important error. Shit. Am I returning immediately from here? I guess so. I should not do that. Alright, so it's giving me something, which is weird. So it's 3 point. What is this magic? Adding 2.1 to 1.3 should result in 3.4. Well, okay, floating number issue. So I guess in the case of here, I would need to operand make a number of it. So this session is going to end right now because I've gotten the solution I wanted. And this means that, well, I'm covering the numbers here. Eventually I would work with strings, right? I would need to add strings together, and anything else together will maybe result in a none. Maybe I will maybe introduce the non operand subtype. So this immediately is not needed because yeah, I'm working in a general operand types, and well, then this is not needed. As this is not needed, so I just return a match. And this would still give me shit. And again, yeah. This is more intuitive. And actually, since I just wrote the function with exact stuff over here, I might as well just copy it in my code. This is a good idea. Implement add, and yeah, I needed to add the trait for the add. All right. So this should give me this, and so for add, for now at least, I would just check if I have a number and the number. This was just a test for my weird assumption, so I delete that. In case I have no clue what the hell I am adding together, I'm just getting a number. I'm just getting a number. Let's see if it compiles first. Bash test with logs. This is just a helper function I created for myself. So it compiled. Let me now open the, no, not this one, interpreter. I should rename it somehow, but at least, yeah. Plus. So this should give me some sort of result. So let res. So R and L at this point are already, they should be of type operand already. So I should be able to just do this, right and left. I don't care about the order. And so the reference, not like these variables are immediately not available because this consumes them and the ownership deletes them right after use in here. So all I have is this is a new operand, and I can just make my stack push the res, and hopefully if I, whoa, I was supposed to comment out the code. Alright, I'm not that good with Emacs, but I use it to get better at typing. Alright, so let's see if it compiles. It worked. So I've added a bunch of code that lets me do this without all of this. This is nice. Alright, so now this is better. And since this works, let's just immediately put it over here. And yeah, just remove extra variable allocations. All right, so this works. The hell is going on here? All right, I'm not gonna go into details here. So I've got my plus working, and I suppose there should be a sort of similar subtract. Yeah, there's a sub. So it works exactly in the way the minus works. The plus works. I'm just gonna immediately write that over there. So yeah, let's kill this buffer, and in the operand list, I'm going to go to the start. Whoop. Oh, damn it. I'm not doing the right thing, so there's the sub, and apparently I can just copy. Visual mode. Yeah, there's a struggle when you use ordinary stuff in browser, like selecting, and what is going on with you? What? Yank and paste. All right, that was interesting. The method was sub. Sub for operand, impl, and this is called sub, so I'm gonna call it the sub, and it does exactly the same. It's the same. What is this? Self output. All right, I'm not sure what the self output is, but it did work for me right now. If I have a number and a number, then I create another number. All of this code just to make a minus for different subtypes. Is it overkill? I don't know. Is it fun? Yes, it is. So I didn't make any errors. So there you go. At least we are able to perform an operation of a minus. Actually, you know what? Let's finish this session with just completing that case here. Not plus, but subtract. So what was it for minus? If I have on a stack, so the very first thing I pop, it's on the right. And the second thing I pop, it's on the left. Because when we interpret the string, let me prototype just so that I'm sure. If there was C plus B numbers, when we read from the left, we push that to the stack first. And then, so this is the left side, so we push that on the stack first, and this goes into the stack second. So the very first thing that we pop is the right, and this is the left. So yeah, it's correct. So I can be sure that I can do this. All right, and yeah, testing with logs still works. I don't have any minus sign in testing for me to be sure that it actually works, but I'm happy that I was able to simplify my functions in here on this level. So yeah, reading docs is kind of fun, and I hope to see more cool things like that. Of course, this is a test project and it's shit, but I'm learning things on the way. I hope you had some fun, and remember you could do a, come on, show it, subscribe.